Everybody, Mike Jeffers, Chicago Jazz Magazine, ChicagoJazz.com, and welcome to Chicago Music Revealed. I'm here backstage at the 2026 Chicago Blues Fest, and I am sitting here with Andy Cohen. That's
like Leonard or John Cohen, Uncle John, or there's a lot of Cohens.
Yeah. Well, you just to mention this because people are talking about this at the fest. You did a beautiful tribute to somebody that
Eric
passed
Nolan.
away. Eric Nolan passed away, and he was down here at the fest last year. I remember talking to him at my booth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Killer guitar player. I think he played a couple sets, maybe at Roses and on another stage too. I think last year.
Actually, I played the Chicago Blues Festival a couple of times, 20, 30 years ago.
Oh wow! Yeah.
When Barry Dolan's was still the CEO. In 1996, I approached him with an idea. Tommy Johnson, Reverend Gary Davis, and Reverend Robert Wilkins had all been born in 1896. Could I organize an afternoon centenary? And he let me do it.
Yeah.
So I had Eric Nolan backing up Lane Wilkins, Reverend Wilkins' granddaughter. Rick Sherry backing up Honey Boy Edwards, representing Tommy Johnson. And we had Manny Greenhill, David Bromberg, Jerry Ricks. What was her name? Reverend Gary Davis's, or Leadbelly's, Tiny Robinson, and me. And I was the leader of the panel to talk about Reverend Gary Davis, and we all played some music and, celebrated everybody as best we could. Mm-hmm. Then a couple of years later, I came back and I was just one of the many acts with my wife, Larkin Bryant. Mm-hmm. And that year, Roy Bookbinder was there, Corey Harris, Little Pink Anderson. I already knew most of them. I'm a soldier, if you like. I wear a lot of hats. Larkin passed away 5 years ago. I inherited everything, including the record company, Riverlark. So
oh, really?
Yeah. So I turned the record company into an affirmative action DEI program. You name it, I got one. I got two lefties and one of them is trans.
Well,
I found a fellow online, he's 50 years old, and his name is D. Robinson. He lives in Decatur. He's a fifth generation tradition carrier. His great-great-grandfather came from North Carolina and was born in 1825.
Wow.
Dee was born in 1975. So there's 150 years between the one birth and the other. Dee is just absolutely nuts about the Piedmont style guitar playing. Mm-hmm. So he does note for note accurate transcriptions of Etta Baker's material and Elizabeth Cotton and Reverend Gary Davis and Mississippi John Hurt, and all of them guys. But
note for note.
Note for note.
It's like,
but he doesn't sing. Mm-hmm. So his CD, it's called D from Decatur, is the perfect instruction record. Because he does note for note the guitar parts.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What's that sound like?
I'm sorry?
What's it sound like? I mean,
What does it sound like?
Yeah, I mean,
It sounds like somebody picking a guitar.
Yeah.
But doing it right.
Right. Yeah, it has to.
You know?
It's like a transcription.
You know the One Dime Blues?
Mm-hmm.
He does a beautiful job of that. And he does, one of Reverend Davis's hardest pieces is called Crucifixion. And he mastered that one. Now that's one I haven't even figured out.
He's not even that old if he was born in 75. I mean, it's like, you know.
Well, right, he's only 50. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, right.
So he has the rest of his life.
Right.
He's a, you know.
But
It's a 6'4", 300-pound black man with muscles on his muscles.
Oh, he's a big.
When we
big
tour
cut dude.
together, it looks like he's my bodyguard. But actually, he's just a well-read guy.
Yeah.
Been a laborer all his life, and he plays guitar for his own pleasure. It's perfect.
That's
you
kind
know,
of
you
the
can't
plan,
argue with that.
No.
It's so in line with the definition of what a tradition is supposed to be, that I couldn't not record him.
Right.
You know.
I mean, isn't that when because I know we talked a little bit before we started recording, but I mean, a lot of people say you're like an expert from the 20s to the 50s, kind of in that realm, right?
Yeah.
And back in the 20s and the 30s, I don't know if, even now, I don't know if people pick up the instrument to actually make a living. They pick it up because they love it and because they want to do better and they want to play better, and then they get into it and their musicianship grows into something maybe somebody might pay them some money to do. But I think they have that love behind it. That's what this sounds like. This guy just has that love behind it.
Well, look at it like this. 150 years ago, there wasn't any electricity. So everybody played old-time music.
Right.
No matter who you were.
Yeah.
Okay? Around 1907, there was a huge, well, in 1893, two things happened in 1893. The cotton panic. Cotton was underwater. So a lot of people left the deep south and traveled to the coal fields in Virginia and Pennsylvania and worked there. And as in the Great Migration, when the folks arrived here, first stop was Maxwell Street, and they wanted to hear their down-home music, so they went to Maxwell Street to hear it. Same thing happened in North Carolina. Dee said his people were from all over, and they labored all over. They farmed, they labored, they did different jobs, but they always played music. And that's what it was so odd and rare that somebody isolated in a big city, even it's a relatively small city, in the middle of Illinois, would just be indifferent to popular music in favor of the music of his own family.
Yeah. That is rare. The way you said it right there,
Yes.
that makes total sense.
So like I say, I wear a lot of hats, and one of them, I'm a sort of a folklorist, and I'm sort of an anthropologist, and sort of a sociologist, and sort of a musician, and sort of a this and sort of a that. I have just enough knowledge of each one of these things to get in trouble in all of them. And I will spend the rest of my life doing that. I will turn 80 shortly.
Wow, really?
Looking pretty good for a geezer.
Yeah.
But I know I'm 80. I can tell when I stand up and sit down. I can tell I'm 80. But I'm in good enough shape to keep on the road. Now, my partner in all of this is Michael Frank of Airwork Records,
Sure.
whom I'm sure you know.
Yep.
Michael and I got together something more than 50 years ago. We have been buddies, partners. He's officially my manager. We do things together. In 1984, we took a Winnebago full of old blues guys across the country and back.
Oh, jeez.
The Traveling Blues Review. We went as far as the Winnipeg Folk Festival.
Wow, really?
And yes. It was.
How many weeks was that?
Not the Winnipeg, the Vancouver Festival. We played the Winnipeg Folk Festival, and the Vancouver Sun sent a reporter to Winnipeg to ride with the Winnebago across Canada to kind of get a feel for the old guys.
Yeah.
We had Frank Frost, Mad Dog Lester, Kansas City Red, Honey Boy Edwards. I can never remember Willie's last name, but he was the bass player. He had the biggest bass cabinet in town. It took up half the space. We went in two cars. I had a Dodge van, and we put all the amps in the Dodge van, and I would drive that. And then the Winnebago had everybody else in it. So we had Jim Brewer, Dan Smith, both of them blind. Dan was a Reverend Dan Smith. And Jim, of course, you know, that's Jim Brewer.
Yep.
I knew Jim from the old No Exit days. You remember the No Exit?
Yeah,
He used to play.
sure.
He played every Wednesday
Played
for
No
20
Exit?
years.
No kidding.
I lived in Chicago in the late 60s. And I moved from there. I moved to Detroit, and from there to Ann Arbor, Saratoga, Cullowhee, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Ohio, Kent, Ohio, and then back to Memphis. So I've been around a few corners. Been playing music all of this time and going to school all this time and doing whatever projects. Michael has always been there for me.
Yeah.
Michael believes in me. He believes in my judgment about musicians and music, and so it was really funny. We met. We were together at a festival independently. Of course, we already knew each other, so I said, you know, I wish I had a Winnebago, so I could take a whole truckload of old blues guys across the country. And then I dropped it, you know, because 8 months later he calls me up and he says, start booking. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I got a Winnebago, start booking.
How long were you guys on the road for this thing?
He had the Winnebago for a couple of years. We took 9 guys. In addition to the 2 blind guys, Reverend Dan and Jim, we also had Friss Holloway and John D. Holman. You may not know who Friss was, but he was the piano player for John D. John D. passed away at 91 or something just a few years ago. He was a blind boy Fuller style guy from Durham. And so I would open the show, and then Friss and John D. would do their act, and then we'd clear the stage and get the 2 old guys, get Jim and Dan on, and they would play blues and gospel music. And then when they were finished, I would take them back to wherever we were staying. Usually it was a college dorm or something. And the Kansas City Red Blues Band, featuring Frank Frost and Honey Boy Edwards and Mad Dog Lester, would take over, and they would play and people would dance, and we took that across the country. I wanted to continue it, but things didn't work out, and I was in grad school. And raising a family and all of that stuff. So this has been I've been playing music quite literally all my life. I'm about to turn 80. I've been playing music since I was 3. So it's like breathing to me.
Yeah.
It's so easy, I can do it in my sleep and frequently do.
Mm-hmm.
One of my girlfriends said I play fiddle in my sleep. And I'm also trained in all of the social sciences. So I'm not just looking at the music apart from the culture that it emerges from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the whole pyramid of emergence. Totally University of Chicago.
Right.
Right? And that's what I want people to get out of the music that I present, whether it's me playing it or somebody else playing it, is that we carry not just the music, but the whole of the culture into which we were born, even as it changes as we go through it. So that's the University of Chicago part.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, that's like a course.
Yeah.
Like, but you're right, because people don't really think about music on that level.
Right.
But it did come from somewhere. And it's grown.
That's why I glommed onto D so fast.
Yeah.
I heard him, I saw a little, DM of him playing Hesitation Blues. And I said, you want to make a record?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I went to school in North Texas, which is a well-known jazz school, obviously, and I was down there on a drum scholarship. But I had to go into the listening lab, and I had to learn all the way back to Baby Dodds back then, and I had to be able to play that from the 1800s, because there's still recordings of that, very scratching, and it's fascinating to play that, and then come this way, because the stuff that's being played now is actually that. But people skip that whole part. And they just watch the people that just, the guy that just played right there, I'm going to do that. Well, why is he doing that? I had to learn the Moeller grip, which is the grip that they used to play the snare drums in the Civil War, so that they could hit it hard enough so it could hear. And that's how, but if you watch Steve Gadd or any of these guys play, they're using that grip for a reason.
Yeah.
It's amazing. People don't think about it on that level.
Well, I kind of have to. I don't have any choice about it.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, I was raised in it. My dad was a labor lawyer, and it was I felt it my bounden duty when I came of age, right in the middle of the folk scare, to get the old guys work.
Yeah.
And, for about 35 years, I schlepped old blind guys around the country. Reverend Daniel Womack, he was from Roanoke. His full title was Brother Daniel Womack, the Gospel Jubilee singer from Roanoke, Virginia, the Star City of the South.
It's on his business card, huh?
Yeah, it was a card of title. And, Reverend Dan, Reverend Gary Davis, and other ones.
How were I'm curious, because, you're talking about all these names, but when you would take them out, you would go and, cross the country and Winnebago and everything. Who were the bigger draws? I mean, Honey Boy probably, right? Or something? Or was it?
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Because we weren't playing big gigs. I mean, I was getting these guys the same kind of gigs that I was getting, and I've never been any kind of a draw. Why would somebody want to come see me play Reverend Gary Davis music when they can see Reverend Gary Davis do it, right? I was just like another soldier, another folk singer, schlepping around the country, and occasionally when I could arrange it, when I could make the arrangements with enough gigs, or if I had a recording session for one of them or something,
Right.
that I just wanted to help the old guys out.
Yeah.
That was my mitzvah. It's always been my mitzvah. Now I'm one of the old guys. So.
So how can people, just if we're watching this, how can people learn more about, obviously, AndyCohenMusic.com.
Yeah.
And that links over to your record label and everything, right?
Yes. The record label is called River Lark, and it has its own website, riverlark.com. And you can buy all of our CDs, and you can also buy Larkin, my wife Larkin, who passed 5 years ago. She was a dulcimer player, like Gene Ritchie or Margaret MacArthur, and we got together. I met her at the 1993 Folk Alliance convention because I had my dulciola, and I was sitting there playing my dulciola, and she and her then boyfriend came up and they said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a dulciola." They said, "You're hired for the Dulcimer Festival." That was the beginning. We were together 25, almost 30 years.
Wow.
I miss her every day. At this point, more of my friends have passed on than are living.
Yeah.
And it's still my mitzvah to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's still and I'm lucky because I don't take a basket of pills every morning. And I can still do physical work. And I can still have most of my marbles. Not all of them. Nobody has all of them, but I got most of them. And I know what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty. That's the name of the game. That's the beauty of it,
So I consider myself very fortunate for that.
So I have to ask, do you have anything coming up that we should be talking about to plug for this thing? Do you have any musicians coming up? Any performances coming up of your own? Anybody? Anything? I know you're partnered with Michael Frank. He's got a 47th year of Earwig. Is that possible? It's unbelievable.
I recently made a CD with Bill Ellis and Eleanor Ellis. You know who Eleanor Ellis is? She played with Phil Wiggins, the harmonica player that used to play with John Cephas. And she and I have known each other for 50 years too. And Bill Ellis, I've known. Bill Ellis's dad is Tony Ellis, the banjo player who played with Bill Monroe in the 50s. That's why Bill Ellis is named Bill, is after Bill Monroe.
No kidding.
So the two of them, they just happen to have the same last name. So it's Ellis, Cohen, and Ellis. And we got a new CD. We have an old CD called Preaching in That Wilderness. And is celebrating 35 years of touch and go, occasional being able to get together. We made another CD. This one's called Whistling Past the Graveyard, which we're flogging it now. Bill is a professor of fine arts in Vermont. Eleanor lives an hour from New Orleans. I live in Memphis. I'm the booking guy. Bill's the publicity guy. Eleanor just sits at home. And when we can, I got a gang of gigs. We're going to be playing, the three of us are going to be playing Sunday, September 6th at the Fox Valley Festival.
Oh, okay.
And we got a bunch of other gigs. We're playing the Shawano Festival up in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning of August, and we got a bunch of smaller gigs. And then when Bill has to go home, Eleanor is flying into O'Hare from Port Townsend, where she's teaching women's blues. Bill is coming from Vermont on the train. I got to pick them both up here.
jeez.
So drive in from Memphis, get them both, and go up to Shawano.
It's only 4 hours to Shawano. That's easy.
The tourist that I go through, just to keep a career going. Eleanor has the most beautiful voice. I mean, it just drips with honey. And we worked very hard getting this record just right.
Yeah.
And we couldn't afford Mark Pucci, so we sent for publicity. I sent 65 copies of it to the UK, which cost me, oh God, thank you very much,
Yeah, right.
Louis
yeah.
DeJoy. And we got Geraint Jones, who's kind of the equivalent of Mark Pucci, but not nearly as expensive. He did a great job of getting us quotes and reviews and spins and everything else.
Nice.
So we're flogging this CD as best we can, and I got a bunch of them in the can, other different people. And when I lived in Kent, I had a band called the Florida Blues Band. We were called that because Florida Blues was the only tune we knew. So we were the Florida Blues Band. And the Greater Florida Blues Band, which consisted of all my buddies from Kent and Cincinnati and Columbus, and we made a record of that. I'm just trying to get up the money to get that one out. And I have some other friends from Kent that are.
So you've got things in the can that you're trying to start pushing
Yeah,
out and putting out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you're actually going to be playing at Shawano, at Fox Valley,
Yeah.
places like that.
So, it's a complicated life. I live a complicated life, and I like every piece of it.
That's all you can ask for,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
you got a million things going on, but
No.
if you love the million things you have going on, then
Yeah.
you're winning the battle.
The only thing I can complain about is the fact that all my old friends are dying away,
Yeah,
and I hate that.
yeah.
But if this is a way to remember them, then we will remember them.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And of course, AndyCohenMusic.com for all the information on everything he's got going on. Fascinating conversation. And I thank everybody for watching. Of course, all the information is going to be on ChicagoJazz.com, BluesInChicago.com. And until next time, hopefully I will see somebody out on the scene.